This is like my favorite, having the youth come in and work with the horses. And it's great to see the interactions. But now let's go down into my soap lab and make some Nourishing coconut milk charcoal soap with oats and honey. So I've been organizing my sunroom, and now I have a day bed in here. I still have to do some pillows and some things to get my lights working again, but let me turn you around and show you what I've been doing in the soap lab. Okay, so I'm still organizing. You know, sadly, I had to clean out my mom's house, so I have some stuff I'm going through that's for my, you know, home and everything. But this is where I do shipping, but I also do Poshmark. So I have my shipping area here, my soap making, all my supplies there, my candle making. That sink is not working sink. It doesn't have like water coming in, or I can't drain anything out yet, but that's coming. And I have a freezer and a refrigerator over here. This is another area that I have to get organized. But the good news is I will be doing soap making classes for the area. And here, sorry for the noise, I have a dehumidifier in here, but this is things that are curing, including a wholesale order, all of my, you know, labels and everything. So I still have a lot of organizing to do, a lot of labeling to do. And this isn't all my inventory. I have some up at the farm store. But anyway, I just wanted to give you all a little update on that, and let's make some soap. Yay! Okay, here we are. I'm going to put my safety glasses on. I have my gloves on. So I wear my reading glasses over top of my soap glasses, and I have everything here ready in the sense. So this is the oils and butters. The recipe is below. I put it both in percentages, so if you don't have a small mold like this, you can do whatever size mold you have. I showed this recipe on my how to make soap at home video. I will link that below as well, so you can watch that. This soap is going to have coconut milk in it. So here is my coconut milk that I have measured out, and here is my lye that I have measured out. I'm going to go ahead and start mixing that. I have a separate mixing spoon here, mixing spatula, and I may set this in a bowl of ice to keep it cool. I don't want to scorch my milk. Also here I have some oats, again, all my ingredients I will list below, and some other things I use, kale and clay. I also am going to use charcoal in this soap, but I don't want it black. I'm probably going to try to go for a light blue. You can get a light blue with charcoal, and it depends on what kind of milk you use as well. All the factors that you put into your soap really do affect the color. This is what I'm thinking about topping with. Some of the lavender buds are from the farm here, and then I have chamomile flowers that I get from a company, and I'll leave that below, the one I really trust. I get a lot of my herbs from them, some dry herbs and things. You can use them to make tea as well, so it's really great. But first thing we're going to do is go ahead and put our lye into our coconut milk. And please, at any time you have any questions, just ask below. I really love teaching, and I'm really excited that I will be doing classes here on the farm in person for people. I'm probably going to be doing like 4 to 5 students at a time. This space is big enough, I just have to work it out. So you saw I just put a little bit in there, and I'm going to stir. I have my glasses on, and this is going to start melting that coconut milk. And all I did with my coconut milk, you want to make sure it's just plain coconut milk, no gar gum and nothing like that in it, just plain coconut milk, and this is organic. And then I just put it in the ice tray and freeze it, and this will start melting it. Now remember, I am using a water reduction. Anytime I say the water I use in a soap, it means whatever liquid I'm using. Milk, tea, goat milk, aloe vera juice. All of my liquids that I use, I like to freeze. I just want to make sure I'm not putting too much lye in at a time. So I'm going to add a little more. And again, I could put this in a little bowl of ice to keep it cool. But once this is done, I'll be back and we'll start pouring it in our ready butters and oils here. I also have my essential oil in here, lavender and eucalyptus. It's a great combination to add to a soap. Okay, this is what it looks like on my little bowl of ice. Thing about milk soap, there's fat in milk, and so the lye will start to try to saponify, kind of see how it's almost getting like a goopy, like it's trying to saponify with that fat. So sometimes I do blend this up. Let me check the temp, and then I'm going to set it aside while we finish prepping our base for the soap. Okay, that's not bad. So right at 99, with sitting in this ice, it should cool down. I'd like to be around maybe 85 degrees. I'm not worried about the essential oils. Lavender and eucalyptus are do not speed up the trace of the soap, which means it doesn't thicken the soap up. It actually has a reverse effect. It kind of thins it out. I've seen a soap batter kind of get thickened, then I add the essential oil, and then it just kind of thins it out. So that's why I added the essential oil already. I'm not worried about it thickening up. Plus, I'm not doing we're not doing any additional colors. We're just doing one color and one pour, so everything can go in, and then we add the lye and pour. So that's exciting. All right, let me set this aside. I also recommend having paper towels nearby, water. Like, I don't have a running sink in here, but I do have water. Hey, there's a little bit of cocoa butter there. I do have you know, jugs of water, so if I get lye on my skin. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna add this is kaolin clay, so I'm gonna add this, and I want to say it's about 2 tablespoons. I'm not gonna add all that. This is oats, and I forgot one other thing I'm gonna add. This is gonna be very nourishing, and I'm gonna start with just a little bit of charcoal. I'm gonna see what color I get. Of course, that's gonna change once that lye hits. And then I meant to get my honey to fall down to the bottom. I do want to add a little honey, probably a teaspoon of honey. It's typically 1 teaspoon of clay per pound of oil. That's kind of your ratio. And I will blend this. I'm just kind of biding time here until I get some honey down to the... It is actually not very warm in my soap lab today. It's been raining, but I think it was like, didn't even get into the 60s today. We were definitely in fall. Let me know how the weather is with you guys, where you are watching from. And again, anytime you have a question, go ahead and ask. All right, let's see if we can get some of this. Oh yeah, we can get some honey in. This is just raw honey. I would love one day to have my own bees. I have a hive, like all the bee accessories that I need, but no bees. So this is just gonna be a teaspoon of honey. Now, honey, sugar will speed up the trace. So just be aware of that. And sorry, I need to make sure I'm in the frame better. Okay. We might have a darker soap than I was kind of shooting for, but that's okay. It's gonna have lots of great stuff in it. I'm gonna set some of my things aside. I'm watching my hubby go out the door. He's gonna get the farm animals situated. All right, let's blend this up. I'll take the volume down a bit because it is loud. Now, you really want to make sure, wow, that smells so good. I just got a nice whiff of lavender and eucalyptus. When you have clay in here, you really have to incorporate it in to the oils. And so we have quite a bit in here. That's why I like to spend some time, as long as I'm just doing one pour, I can put everything I want to in here and then add the lye, and then we're set to pour. But just make sure you're mixing a good amount of time. You don't want that clay to separate. You want it to really soak up all those oils. All right, I think it's really good. I just set my attachment there in the center. He went up, he's out front there already. And then we're gonna check our lye.
Love you, Mom.
Love you too, buddy. And I'm gonna use my, see, look at that, it's already starting to solidify. All right, I'm just making sure it's mixed, and I'm right about 89, so I'm gonna go with that. I think that's great. I have another soap to make. I'm making a candy cane soap, and that's actually a 2-day soap. I'll probably bring y'all along for the second half to show you what I'm doing. It's a diagonal design, diagonal candy cane design. All right, so this is going to be kind of gloopy, but it's good for y'all to see. So when you go to make your soap, you're not like, oh my gosh, what's happening to my, what's happening to my milk? So I just opted out. We'll blend a good while here because it should not thicken up. Watch it thicken up on me. It should not thicken up on me because of the essential oils I'm using, and I've worked with coconut milk quite often, and it usually behaves. Now, the other factor is I do have honey in here. Anytime you add sugar, it's gonna bring up the lather for your soap, which is beneficial as well. It's nice, and that kaolin clay gives that silky feel. This is almost like a interesting, I don't know, we'll have to see what it does. So again, I'm just gonna mix it some. I'm not gonna hit it with the blender right away. All right, here we go. I'm just getting the air bubbles out. And okay, so I've mixed quite a bit. I'm just gonna see how that's hanging on there. It's still a very light trace because when I take this around, it's not really leaving a trace on the top of the soap, on the top of the batter. So I'm gonna mix a little bit more because I really want to be able to pour it and it starts to set up, and then I can decorate it. But man, it looks like I have a lot more soap batter than. I want to show y'all something. This is my view. So you've got the view of my table, but take a look here out my window. My hubby's turning out the horses. And what a beautiful sight to see. Oh, I love it. Better than TV, that's for sure. Doing something with your hands and getting a shot of the animals, a view of the animals. All right, so if I had more time, I would just go ahead and let this and keep mixing, but I have another soap to make. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in, and I might have to pour it into a level. It almost looks like a green brown. This will be interesting to see what color comes of this. Actually, I can get this all in. All right, yay. I think when I did this recipe for y'all, it's just a base recipe. I didn't want y'all to have a bunch of batter left over and then not know what to do with it. You know, just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with all this batter? So I did a recipe for it's actually 41 ounces. It could be, I think could be 44 ounces, but I mean, this is just a great way to start making soap for your family, or making soap to sell on your homestead or a business you want to start. It's definitely, I love these molds too. They're great. And I got them off of Amazon, which that link is below as well. All right, let's just let that hang out for a minute, and then I you can also put a top on it. These little tops that go on it, we'll put it to the side, and then we'll come back and texture it. All right, here we go. Now look at this. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. That looks great. I'm not going to mess with it too much. Nice. All right, so then I'm going to put some of the botanicals. This is going to end up being almost like a gray blue, I believe. We'll see. Hopefully it's not going to stay a poop brown like it's looking right now. But I love doing botanicals to contrast the soap. This in itself smells like tea. It's amazing. And then we'll be back instant for you guys for the cut. All right, here is the soap. It's less than 24 hours since I use such a water discount in my soap. It doesn't take long to be able to unmold and cut. I actually took a steamer and steamed the top. So one way you can tell for sure is once you peel back, if there's nothing coming off, that's definitely ready to cut. Yeah, see how it even barely took off the edges? You can just tell if your soap is soft that way, and you can actually feel on top too. This is just a ledge, but what a pretty blue. Nice steel blue, and the botanicals look great. To move this is my other soap that I'm going to actually take out of the loaf and cut long ways diagonally, and then put each half of the diagonal cut into another mold, into the 5-pound mold. So I'm making 2 soaps. Put the botanicals down. Move this back more so y'all can see better. Here we go. I need to go get more gloves. I have them up at the barn. Let's see. That looks like I'll get a couple samples, a couple little samples. You can cut the soap with a knife. You don't need a soap cutter. That's for sure. And there's nothing going to be in the center, but just a really pretty blue, steel blue color of the soap. How great. Smells amazing. You will, you know, when you first start with your soap, cutting it, it will kind of still have a little bit of that chemical lye smell to it, but it will slowly, as it starts to cure, it will start to diminish, and that essential oil scent will really come through. And there's a little sample there. I will put these in my shop in about 3 to 4 weeks. The way you can tell if your soaps are done curing is you weigh them. So I say I'll take this one and weigh it off camera here. I've got my weigher to this, my scale to the side. Right now this is 4 ounces. So it should come down to probably about 3.8, 3.7, I'm guessing. But just weigh it every week for 3 weeks. And then after that, start weighing it every other day. And if it's not dropping any weight, then you know it's cured. Just the longer the air gets to it, the harder the bar and the longer it lasts. And then when you use your soap, you want to make sure it dries out between uses. So, all right, I'm going to get on with my next soap. Any questions, guys, feel free to ask. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure on your way out to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and also share the video. And I'd love to hear from you guys. Be blessed. Till next time. Bye.